Everyone, I am pro photographer Ian Plant, and in this video, I'm going to share with you a powerful photography composition technique. It's called leading lines, and if you use leading lines, you can make compelling images that draw the viewer in and don't let go. But if you want to learn more, then stay tuned. So the concept behind leading lines is pretty straightforward. I'm pretty sure you've probably already got a rough idea how this works. And so here's an example where I used leading lines in a composition. And this is a photo from the Namib Desert of Namibia. And I've took this photo on top of a big sand dune looking down at sunset with some angled light on the dunes. And the ripples in the dunes in the foreground create a bunch of leading lines that all push from the bottom and the left and right edges of the image frame into the center of the composition. And so the ripples act as leading lines that are leaning in, and they're drawing the viewer from foreground to background, from bottom to top in the image frame, from the outskirts of the composition into the interior of the composition, where they hold the viewer's attention. And here is another example. This is a drone photo I took in Iceland, and I used the sandbar in the water as a leading line pointing to the mountains in the background. So usually what you want to do with your leading lines is have the leading lines leading to something important in the background. So usually it is your primary subject that you have the leading lines pointing to. So that way you use the leading line to direct the viewer to that subject in the background. And the leading line just creates more visual energy, and it adds some depth to the composition. So it makes the overall experience better for the viewer. And here is another example, once again, from the Namib Desert of Namibia. And this is a photo from the famous Deadfly area. And in this area, there are a bunch of dead trees that are at the base of these massive sand dunes. And for this photo, I used the shadows coming from the tree to create a bunch of leading lines that once again draw the viewer from the lower, left, right, and bottom parts of the image into the central part of the composition. Now, there are other leading lines in this composition as well. The trees themselves create the same shape, so they're also creating these leading line shapes. So the leading lines formed by the trees are coming in from the top of the image frame. And so usually my leading lines are coming in from the bottom, pushing the viewer towards the top of the composition deeper into the image frame. But often those lines can come from the left or the right or even the top of the image frame. It doesn't really matter. The visual effect is the same. And I also use leading lines when I'm working with wildlife subjects. So these are polar bears, a mother and her two cubs, passing in front of the rising sun in the Alaskan Arctic. And the backlighting on the polar bears creates these shadows from their legs. And those shadows create a bunch of diagonal leading lines. So these lines are leaning in, and that is helping to draw the viewer to the main subject in the background. And I often prefer to work with diagonal lines when I can. I don't like working with vertical leading lines as much because I don't think the effect is quite as powerful. I think when you've got diagonal lines, especially when you've got multiple diagonal lines that are leaning in and all those lines are converging on the main subject in the background, that is a very powerful visual effect. And it's one that I often look for when I'm making visual designs. And so here you can see that the leading lines created by the shadows really help add some depth to this composition, and they enhance visual interest. It's a much more powerful photograph than if I had just zoomed in tighter and only photographed the backlit bears themselves. And here you can see all of those converging diagonal lines, how this creates a dizzying visual effect. So this is a sandstone cave along the south shore of Lake Superior, and all of the striations in the sandstone are converging in the distance. So it's creating this powerful radial shape of all of these converging diagonal lines. And so the viewer's interest is brought very powerfully from the edges and corners of the image frame into the center of the composition. And all those leading lines pushing the viewer's eye there help hold the viewer in the center of the composition, hold the viewer's interest over time. So you can see how when you have a bunch of converging diagonal lines, it can create this very powerful visual effect. It holds the viewer's interest and doesn't let go. And here is a photo from Iceland. And so typically I want my leading lines to be leading to some primary subject, but not always. So in this photo, the leading lines are created by ripples in the sand revealed at low tide. But you can see that these lines are mostly pushing from the bottom of the image into the upper right. And there's really nothing there. They're kind of just pointing to this empty space. There is another leading line, and that's the leading line created by the cloud in the sky above. And that is pointing to the mountain in the background, the primary subject. And so the leading lines in the foreground are pointing somewhere else. And then there's another line pointing to the main subject. Those 2 points of interest that are where the lines converge compete for the viewer's attention. And so you don't always want to have your leading lines go directly to your subject. Sometimes if they point somewhere else, it can be more powerful. And here's another example of a wildlife photo where I used leading lines. I made this photograph in the Falkland Islands, and this is an elephant seal. And the grasses in the foreground create leading lines that lead to the subject. But the subject itself is also a leading line, maybe more of a curve, but still it's the same type of visual effect. The subject is creating a shape that is further pushing the viewer's eye. And so the converging diagonal lines created by the grasses push the eye to the seal, and then the seal creates a leading shape that pushes the eye into the sky above to the shape created by the cloud. And so these various leading lines are working together to create a compelling visual progression that encourage the viewer to go from foreground to middle ground to background in the composition, to go from the bottom to the middle to the top and explore all parts of the visual design. And this photo taken from the outer islands of Scotland, the leading lines are a little less obvious, but you can see that the boulders in the foreground are creating these implied leading lines that are pushing towards the sea stack in the background. And once again, these shapes are leaning in, so it's creating this converging effect. And you can often get this leaning in effect when you're working with a wide angle lens, because that's going to transform a lot of these lines that might otherwise appear vertical. The perspective distortion of the wide angle lens is going to stretch them out diagonally, and that diagonal convergence is going to create a more powerful leading line effect. And here is another example of using leading lines. This is a self-portrait I took along the south shore of Lake Superior. There's all these cliffs on the south shore that freeze in the winter, creating these really interesting ice caves. And I used the shadows coming from the backlit icicles and from myself as leading lines that all come in from the lower edges and corners of the image frame, pushing the viewer towards the background part of the composition. So once again, the effect of these leading lines is to pull the viewer deeper into the visual design and hold their interest. And so if you use leading lines the right way, it creates a compelling visual effect that commands the viewer's eye. Now, one thing you want to do is when you're working with leading lines is to give them a little extra space. That'll give them more visual power. I call this giving leading lines visual runway. And the analogy is kind of like if you're in a plane and the plane is trying to take off. If the runway is not long enough, the plane can't get up to speed and get off the ground. And so you want to make sure that you've got a lot of runway so that the plane can get up to the proper speed and take off. Same thing with leading lines. You don't want to cut the leading lines too short. And so in this first example, I'm using the branch that the birds are on as a leading line, but I really haven't included much of it. And so the visual effect isn't really that strong. The leading line doesn't have a lot of visual runway to compel the viewer's eye deeper into the composition. But if I reframe the scene and I have more visual runway, I give the leading line more room, it's a stronger, more compelling visual effect. And it forces the viewer from the lower left all the way to the upper right of the composition. And so within any given leading line composition, you want to think about giving those leading lines as much room to move as possible to maximize the visual effect and to really compel the viewer deeper into the scene. Well, there you have it. Leading lines are a powerful compositional technique if you do them right. And if you want to learn more about photo composition techniques, then check out my critically acclaimed ebook Visual Flow and my Ultimate Photography Composition course, both of which are available on my PhotoMasters education platform. I'm Ian Plant, wishing you good luck and great light. See you again next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.